All right, and I believe with the conclusion of that countdown, we are live here on the Final Fantasy Randomizer Twitch channel. And I mean, obviously, this is a Final Fantasy Randomizer. It says Final Fantasy right there. Isn't that right, Wildam?
Yeah. It is a randomizer, but maybe not the same Final Fantasy that we're used to.
A little bit. Anyway, yeah. So if you are checking this out, we are doing a little exhibition race of a randomizer Wild here is cooked up. Because who doesn't love Mystic Quest? I mean, it's got kickin' tunes, it's got some very entertaining characters. You don't have to actually turn your brain on to play it. It's kind of the perfect RPG when you think about it.
Uh, yeah, yes, it's pretty laid back, but there's a lot of subtleties in it, so you might have a few surprises.
Yeah, but yeah, so this is just sort of a little exhibition to show off kind of the work that you've done so far on this thing. A chance to talk a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes, and just sort of let people see that hey, there's a Final Fantasy Mystic Quest randomizer that was made. We're not going to talk about how long it's been since the last Final Fantasy Mystic Quest randomizer was done. But yeah, so just to kind of start things off while we get ready to send these runners packing, which I just dropped the gate for, um, we can talk a little bit about the things that to expect with this. So we are going to start off in the Foresta area, the Earth corner of the map.
Yeah,
And what was that?
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah. And our first objective is going to be to locate the sand coins so we can leave. Um, and one of the flags that we have on for this is the all chests flag, which it will, in turn, make it so that any given chest location in this game can be a key item chest. And I believe all the NPCs that normally give key items still give a key item, right?
yeah, they still do, and also the battlefields will give K too.
Right. The blue battlefields in
Yeah,
particular.
right.
So yeah, as we can see, the old man has given us a Venus shield, and we are starting with bombs, because randomize which weapon you start with is, and sorry, I just realized that Channigan is using a backwards sprite, because of course he is. So we have started off with bombs, which is very convenient, because that pretty much means we can full clear the sand dungeon right away.
Yeah,
And
this is great. Yeah, because there's a usually that means there's a lot of good chests in Bone Dungeon, and it's a pretty easy dungeon to clear. So you don't have to fear too much to face a roadblock with the boss or something like that.
right, and it's one of those things. One of the when we talk about the NPCs, we're also talking about the NPC allies, and while pretty much all of the cutscenes in this game have been very deftly removed, thank you, um, we do still have the points where allies will, give you an item if they're in your party. So, Tristram in Bone Dungeon, Phoebe in the Wintry Cave, what's his face, the useless kid, Reuben,
Ruben, yeah.
the mine, uh, and
And
I believe,
Kaylee that has almost all her quests that still you still need to give her the tree wither to get her in your party, and you still need to give her the elixir to cure her after that.
oh, okay, so we get white right off the bat. Can we get a reroll on this? This is too easy, too easy. But
Well,
yeah,
they don't have charge yet, so they have to wait a bit before you do it.
So Channigan opting to go straight into Bone Dungeon and start hunting for items. Kevin, on the other hand, has opted to start clearing out this battlefield, and I didn't see what color it was, so I'm not sure if he's going for experience or money. Yeah, it looks like it was just experience. But I don't hate it. But Channigan, meanwhile, has found the river coin as well as the heal spell. And I guess I did misspeak before. You don't necessarily need the sand coin, you just need a coin.
Yeah, you usually find the river coin or the sand coin in the early area to get you started. And if you're really, really, really unlucky, then you can also find uh, the fire coin, which is a bad start.
Yeah. So, Neo Holy Knight in chat asking, how is Channigan walking backwards? And the answer to that question is because he decided to edit his character, make life difficult for the rest of us. But yeah, so that is a sprite edit that Channigan specifically made to the base ROM that gets randomized. But that actually, what you said just now brings to mind a question I had, Wildham. So, how are items placed in this iteration of the randomizer? Is there sort of placement logic, or is it more of a find valid locations to put the item there, and then go back and see if everything actually functions?
No, it takes because of my experience with FFR, it takes a page from it. So it plays one item after the other in a specific order to make sure, and at each step it checks to make sure that the game is beatable. So that means most of the time, you'll get you get either the sand coin or the river coin to get started, and other more the more advanced progression items will come a bit later after that.
So does it take into account at all the difficulty of areas when placing items, or is it solely can you get here and then good luck, kid?
Pretty much, yeah. But so far it seems to work pretty well. I mean, like I said before, the worst coin you can get is the sun coin, and this one is always a bit later, so that you don't have uh, to dive right away into the windy area.
See, you say that, but I rolled a seed earlier today where right now my progression is somewhere it looks like in Pazuzu's tower, and my ally is level 15 Phoebe. So, I do have a couple of bones to pick with you, good sir.
Well, you do have Phoebe, though, so
It's level
you're
15 Phoebe. She's basically at this point she's a heel stick while I throw grenades at everything.
yeah, well, she's doing her best. It's still much better than being stuck with Tristan. So
Yeah,
could be
this
worse.
is
Could be
true.
worse.
This is true. I could be stuck with level 7 Tristan. Or Ruben. I could be stuck with Ruben.
He's
But
pretty good actually.
I know, but it to me it is more entertaining to continue to refer to him as useless. Also, you're the one who put in the dialogue about him being useless. So I don't want to hear it from you.
That's fair. That's fair.
Anywho, so Channigan is out of Bone Dungeon as Kevin is getting to his fight with the big, scary dinosaur skeleton.
Yeah, so we're going to Fireberg.
Yeah, so we are at least probably going to see Ruben, though I wouldn't be surprised if Channigan gets Ruben and then, like, at most takes him over to the mine before swapping him out for Tristram. But we'll see what happens here. Because, yeah, we are going straight to Ruben.
Well, he also need to switch to remove Tristan from his party so he can get his item in the hotel. So
Yeah, so it's one of those things. We're at least going to see Ruben for a moment, but I believe you can go ahead and recruit Tristram if you want at this stage. Yeah.
all companions, when they leave your party, you can still go back and find them, get them again.
Yeah. So I believe it breaks down. Ruben, you can acquire from his house. Or I've gotten him from the hotel, and I'm not entirely sure what the trigger is to have him available through the hotel in Windia rather than in Fireberg.
I know, and one of the earlier version, it could show up there, but uh, I think that's been fixed, so it should be always in Firebird.
Okay. So yeah, you have to go to Firebird for Tristram and Reuben, and it is initial locations for everyone, and then Windia for Kaylee and Phoebe once you've gotten their key item, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, chat pointing out that at the moment Kevin is doing a little bit of item collecting, getting some safeties for the road ahead, while Channigan seems to be focusing on sort of plunging in and trying to get those key items to unlock progress. So, it'll be interesting to see how Kevin tackles this area. Because there are, I think, a few spots that Channigan didn't pop into. He kind of went straight to the mine, checked a couple of spots there, and then headed straight up the volcano. So,
Yeah.
and I don't necessarily hate the play to go to Volcano. Volcano and Lava Dome are very dense in chests. And as far as I'm aware, we are still looking for any claw to be able to sort of, climb things, as well as access to half the planet.
Yeah, the cloud would be very nice, but they also have the mega grenades, which basically open up uh, uh, the wall of lava dome. So we should be sure to find something there.
Well, there's the mask, so we can at least see what we're doing up here on the volcano. And by
Yeah.
what we're doing, I mean where the bad guys are. Yeah, so Kevin's showing off the third type of battlefield. So one change that you've made to the game in general is the battlefields have different colorations based on what you're going to find when you kill them all. So blue battlefields hold a key item of some sort. Gray battlefields will reward you with bonus XP, and the green battlefield that Kevin's on gives money, which I'm guessing he's doing that in order to be able to pick up whatever item is for sale here in Firebird from the nice lady in the house to the south. Which Channigan already showed us, she's just got a charm, so... I mean, it's an extra point of defense.
It's nice, but might not be worth the price. But yeah, because you usually if you shuffle the enemies around or reduce the quantity of enemies, then you'll find out that you're not getting that much money from battles. So the battlefield that give golds are pretty much required if you want to buy everything you need.
I mean, it's one of those things, I don't hate having a charm. Ooh, this looks like it's probably about to re-roll for Channigan.
Yeah,
So,
the mid-design is really tough.
yeah, it is one of those things, like, Kevin at least, the approach he's taken so far, hasn't put him too terribly far behind. And he's gonna be a good 3 or 4 levels up on Channigan by the time he gets around to here. Which could make a pretty good difference. So, yeah, I think that's one of the things we're going to see as more people get into this randomizer, though, is people developing a feel for sort of what level you can be to tackle things in this game. And I mean, some of that is knowledge is carrying over from vanilla. I feel like, because there's a lot of kind of just let your ally do the work for you in the vanilla speedrun, if I recall correctly. But I mean, obviously, with the way that stats are adjusted, there's a little more at play. But we do see Channigan opting to back out of that fight with the Medusa and possibly follow Kevin in checking out some of these battlefields for experience.
Well, you can't blame him because since they shuffled all items, then there's good odds that Medusa doesn't give anything anyway. So you might want to go check something else instead of butting your head against her.
The real problem right now is we only have bombs. Um, so there's not a there's not a lot of places we can go at the moment, but Channigan looks like he may, if I'm not crazy, he may be
Oh,
going
he
back.
found the sun coin.
Where did we find the sun coin? Or the sand coin? I guess we found it. I bet there was there was one chest up on the volcano I didn't see the contents of. I bet that was what was in it. But, so, Channigan wisely deciding to go, somewhere a little more in line with his current level. Alright, so, I'm sure we'll see it again on Kevin's side, so, just to appreciate the current route that the randomizer has thrown out there. You have to climb the volcano to get a sand coin, so that you can go back to get to Aquaria. And that might not even be progression. Our progression might still be up in the volcano lava dome area.
Might be, but at that point you got about 2/3 of the game open up, so you got a lot of options. I mean, you could have gone on to try to find something in Lava Dome too. So,
But we did get a Trio Wither out of the Aquaria region, so I'm feeling like this was the correct play.
well, Kelly is another item you can find. So,
Yeah. And there's another blue battlefield that Channigan's going to be plowing through real quick. Kevin continuing to rack up early levels. I am really curious to see which of these strategies is going to pay off more. Because, again, it's one of those things. This is still very early days for this randomizer. But yeah, Shumbabi and chat pointing out for the folks who do run Final Fantasy Randomizer, Kevin is very much doing a black belt to 42 strat, it feels like.
And we have Flair in Aquaria.
Ooh. Yeah, and I didn't see what came out of the blue battlefield that Channigan cleared a bit ago. Also, Adam, our restreamer ADR in chat asking when we're going to see NPC Guillotine, and to that I say, you can jump over all of the NPCs that you can't go ahead and guillotine.
Yeah, exactly. It's even better than Guillotine.
All of the things that got brought over from Saga 3, which is actually a lot of things with this game. That is one of my favorite, is just jump over people.
Was Saga 3 done before Mystic Quest or after?
I think it was I think it might be like a year or so before Mystic Quest came out, because Mystic Quest was what, 92, 93?
Yeah, 93.
Yeah, I think Saga 3 was like 92, maybe 91. I don't feel like looking it up. Someone in chat can go wiki it real quick. But yeah, and I do recall reading, I think, that some of the team that worked on Saga 3 did work on Mystic Quest, which is why it looks a lot like Saga 3. Oh hey, we got an axe finally! So all of those delicious chests in level 4 are an option.
Was there any?
I don't know. We don't know if to any, but you need an axe to get to basically every chest in level forest.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, no, not Romancing Saga 3, just Saga 3, the one that was released as Final Fantasy Legend 3 in the States.
Oh, Dragon Claw.
Well, I guess we know what weapon Channigan's going to be using when bombs aren't useful.
So Dragon Claw doesn't really come into play until you get in the Wings area, but you need it to beat the game, so this is required.
I mean, not only that, but it's just a solid weapon compared to pretty much everything that's not called a Mega Grenade in our inventory right now. Yeah, we are getting confirmation. Final Fantasy Legend 3 dropped in December 91, so... yeah, so it's one of those things, oh hey, Libra Crest. Libra Crest. So, you know, it is one of those things, that I appreciate. So... alright, so Shumbabi adding that Legend 3 was 93, but anyway, the point stands, it was developed before this was, so... so yeah, I'm trying to think here. So right now, looking kind of at our tracker, we really we mainly have access to places that we can climb at this point, which does open up basically everything that we have access to right now. So I guess the thing that I'm kind of wondering here is, where does Channigan go? Because the proximity play in my mind is after Wintry Cave, you just go ahead and do Ice Pyramid.
But they don't have a sword.
You make an excellent point. Okay, you don't go to Ice Pyramid. I mean, you can go to Ice Pyramid, but you're leaving right away.
You'll be very disappointed, yeah. No, I think unless the squid does anything here, we're going back to the mine after that.
I could see a quick trip to Falls Basin while you're here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's 2 chests, it's fast, and Phoebe has the spells that you want for that area. Ah, hey, we're finally busting out the white. And yeah, he does also have the option of going back and doing the level forest, including using Kaylee.
Alright, so Sonokeven has plenty of charge for wizard spells, so it might be able to get through Medusa on the first try.
And go ahead and pop open some of these brown chests in passing, but I guess he is focused entirely on gotta go fast.
I mean, you could be lucky and find some seed in there, but most of the time won't be.
So the nice thing about either lowering the enemy density or moving the enemies around is Falls Basin very quickly becomes a very box shoving puzzle. But we are already going to go punch the big crab in the face and see what pops out. Which, as you kind of alluded to earlier, Wild, with the Medusa, bosses that normally do yield up a key item are not guaranteed to do so in the randomizer, unlike the NPCs. And is there any thought toward maybe introducing a flag that forces that behavior, or are you sort of happy with that gamble at the moment?
Well, we're getting. I've been working on a few and a few improvements so that there's a bit more of options uh, uh, let's say incentivize uh,
Ooh.
specific things. So we'll side panels from there.
Yeah. No, I am 100% on board with the idea of doing a little bit of incentivization. So, Kevin did unfortunately take a wipe to the Medusa, but definitely seems to be having a l- he looks like it feels like he has a better chance of pulling this off than Channigan did earlier. Just because with the levels he has, he's just able to punch out more damage every turn. Um, Here we go. Channigan just buying some seeds with the cash he's got lying around. So far, the two key item merchants haven't yielded up anything useful. But by grabbing Ruben, I'm guessing Channigan's heading back to the mine. So, I think we've got a couple of, there's a couple, okay. Did you know that happens when something's standing at the bottom of the buckets?
No, it's the first time seeing it, so maybe we'll put a fix to that.
Alright, well, I guess we're gonna get some stuff fixed here.
There's a chest.
Uh, ooh. So, that Mobius crest opens up the Windia area.
Um, Not without the multi-K though. We still need that if you want to go through the back door
Isn't
to
there?
Windsor.
Isn't there a Mobius crest in Aquaria that you can use to jump to Windia?
No, it only jumps to back to Fireberg actually.
Okay. Well, that's why I wanted you here with me, because you actually know how this game works. Or at least I hope you do, because otherwise I feel like that bodes ill for the randomizer's future.
I might have spent more time developing the randomizer than playing the game at this point, so maybe I might miss a few things.
But yeah, so, I mean, it's one of those things,
Oh,
I do appreciate— oh! That's actually pretty huge in terms of, not necessarily progression, but in Kevin's ability to cause grievous harm to others.
yeah, it's a strong weapon, but because it's not required, so doesn't happen much progression either.
Yeah.
Since,
Well, that wake water, I believe we did see a chest or two downstairs in Focus Tower. Actually, I think we may have only seen the one that's locked by the Venus key. But, that wake water does at least open up a few more battlefields that might have items and that one side of Focus Tower. And again, doing something that I often forget about, remembering to go back and talk to Mr. Rubin's dad. You were gonna say something, Wild M?
no, sorry.
Alright, so yeah, okay, so Kevin gave us a good view. There's only the one Venus key locked chest at the moment.
Yeah.
That wake water, like I said, is gonna open up a few more locations.
Yeah, there'll be the long trek to Spencer, which is going to give us something. It's a bit bummer to have to go down there without the Venus Key, though.
Fine. How often is there something important down there?
I don't know. In the vanilla game, there was a Dragon Claw there, so in Battle Axe, yeah.
That's handy for Channigan. Kevin's going to be disappointed when he gets there. Unless he comes in from the back door. So, let's see. I think this means either we are heading up to Volcano or we're heading back down to level Forest at this point, though.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we can do Kaylee, we can chop a few trees. Um,
So, we'll see where Channigan decides to go from here. I can't, like, unless he feels like gambling on those boxes, I can't imagine he's not gonna go ahead and go on back to the Fireberg area.
he is.
All right. See, we're learning. Yeah, the good news is at least if he finds the Venus key, it's not going to be, you know, a womp womp where, well, I've already got almost everything. At least at this point. And again, where are you going? Okay. So, it appears that I'm not the only one who forgets which crests are in which basements. Bobby throwing out some meta thinking about taking advantage of save scumming to potentially go check Kaylee and then head back to Volcano if she doesn't pan out.
Yeah, because of the title screen, saves coming is a bit slower than Final Fantasy, so sometimes you just don't want to do it. Might not be worth it, but
Like with the length of the walk through Focus Tower, it's almost worth it. But let's go very quick to Minotaur. It's a good thing that you do have experience with the Final Fantasy randomizer scene, Wildhand, because I can see in chat just ideas constantly being thrown at you for things what make the randomizer do.
well, that's great. I mean, if people have ideas, then it means they're you know they're enthusiastic about it. But we'll go one feature after the time.
So we did get a magic ring out of Kaylee, and I think even if Channigan had saved scummed, I think that's something you walk out.
Yeah, it's a lot of resistance.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that is something very helpful, and Channigan immediately coming back, grabbing Ruben for yet another time, but because we've done his little side quest, this is now level 31 Ruben.
Which is very good. You can't deny that one. He has the white spell and he has tons of HP. Should help a lot in the volcano.
Which it looks like that's Channigan's next objective. So, Yeah, he did go ahead and talk to Ruben's dad. I think that's... I don't remember what Ruben's dad gave us. I'm gonna be honest here. That might have been the wake water. No, noble armor. Thank you, Shum. Number of, almost the same number of syllables. It was close. So, Channigan unlikely to go back for that Medusa, so that's fine. We don't need the Giant's Axe for anything. It's just a convenient source of damage. So far, though, Lava Dome, not really giving up the goods.
Yeah, it's a bit early because the chest density is a bit later in the dungeon, but yeah, so far nothing.
Yeah. Which I think at this point we know that there's either got to be a sword here or something that's going to lead pretty much directly to the sword, like the Venus key, the multi-key, or the elixir.
Well, I'm rooting for the Sun Queen.
Oh, you're a cruel, cruel man. But yeah, so, you know, kind of just to take a step back, we are seeing a very interesting, like, divergence between these two runners. Channigan has largely focused on pushing that progression, while Kevin has taken a more conservative route, focusing on gaining levels, on making sure to have plenty of potions lying around. So it's one of those things, I think it'll be interesting, sort of... Well, at the moment I feel like Channigan has the edge just because he's closer to go mode. But if Kevin takes a risk on something, or Channigan hits a roadblock because something rolled up, that might be where things get interesting with Kevin having the levels.
Yeah, well, did help him beat Medusa, and well, this time it didn't pan out. We might see also maybe there'll be another boss that's going to be a bit more harder, so
Now,
it might pan in here.
The Vampire, aka Neo Holy Knight in chat, does make a very good point that while the Giant's Axe isn't progression, it does work as a poor man's Excalibur. Like, right now, Channigan's best weapon is the Dragon Claw. Well... Knight's Sword is progression, but...
Yeah, it opens a pyramid.
Yeah, but the I think the Dragon Claw is still the better attacks, like, damage source. So... I don't know. I think that it's going to be interesting as we sort of advance through the seed, these little differences like that. Go ahead.
Did Kevin manage to buy Flare? Or because Channigan is missing that, then that might also be an advantage to Kevin if he get it.
That is very true. I mean, Channigan still is rocking white, so that'll do a lot of good, but... the way that these encounters have kind of laid themselves out is helping Channigan a lot with sort of the experience gap. Because he's gone from being several levels behind Kevin to only being, like, a couple of levels back. So...
yeah, he's catching up, yeah.
Yeah, now, granted, Kevin's going to have to go the same route, so in the long term it's going to balance out, but, again, the way that he's sort of... Ah, hey, there's the multi-key.
Right.
So, now we have windy access.
Yes, we do. Although it's I like to call it the back door because the randomizer doesn't take into account that access. So you'll never be forced to go to India without the send point.
Is there any plan at the moment to maybe evolve the logic to be able to say, oh, well, you've got the Mobius crest, and you have Fireberg access, and you have the necessary keys. You can go ahead and go there. Or is that sort of this game is not complicated enough to merit that level of sophistication?
I mean, that's possible, but it might be just a personal preference. But I like when you have some, there's some rules and the item placement that you can that give you some leeway with that. So you can get some information out of this, and it can be a gamble if you want to try to the other way around and maybe get a few cheeky extra chests there before it's supposed to be.
And meanwhile, Lava Dome
Whoa.
is apparently just where all of the progression items were stacked up.
Yeah, they don't provide.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah,
Oh,
this
wow.
chest is Sky Coin, and we see another chest over there, and another chest. Okay, I think so. Yeah, Lava Dome is the place to be.
Okay, so at this point, and we got the captain hat too. So Channigan only needs the Thunder Rock to be in go mode, and while technically the Sun Coin would be required, he can go from Fireberg directly to Windia. So.
And with that X-Cal in hand now, I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe thinks about making the play over to Windia when he's done here, just to start doing anything other than that ice pyramid that the magic mirror is pointing toward, which I guess that's another question. We know that the whole thing where enemies in the ice pyramid become visible when you open the chest that has the ID that in vanilla the chest that has the magic mirror in it has. I'm guessing that the logic in no way, shape, or form accounts for that, and you're expected to find the magic mirror before you set foot in the ice pyramid.
Yeah, right now both the mask and the mirror are totally nice and clean. Are totally placed random, so you might have to actually dig ice pyramid and the volcano without the mask and the mirror. I guess down the road you would like to add a flag, so you the logic would put them before you have to go down there.
Okay. And yeah, chat knows that Kevin went to poke the statue in Ice Pyramid and realized he didn't have anything to poke it with. So
very sad.
Channigan, meanwhile, deciding that he would like to have a quick road back to Aquaria.
Yeah, and Hydra was pretty nice this time, so not too much of a problem.
Question in chat, when are we going to get see some animation acceleration on the whatchamacallit, crystals?
No, you get to enjoy it. It's a breather, after a boss. So just take a breath, take a sip of water. No need to rush things. You're already going so fast with this game.
There you have it here, folks. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest randomizer developer hates speed. When did we find the Thunder Rock?
Oh, we do have a Thunder Rock, yeah.
Okay, I guess we had the Thunder Rock this whole time.
Alright, so then Channigan is in Go mode, but it's only level 18, which is kinda low for doing the Doom Castle.
I know that folks have managed to clear Doom Castle with levels this low, but I'm not sure if the scaling was all the way there to allow for it.
Yeah. The Channigan has Life Spell or Cure. Yeah, I don't know. I think he has Cure, right?
I think he has Cure and Heal on Benjamin, so but I don't think we've seen Life.
Alright, so that's another thing that makes it very, very sketchy to go down to Doom Castle right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not an ideal scenario, but apparently no one actually saw him pick up the Thunder Rock. But I mean, you know, it's just what 6 or 7 pairs of eyes that all utterly failed in this one. Yeah.
But
Now,
to
I
be
did
fair,
see.
there was a lot of chess and Lava Dome, so it's easy to lose track.
Okay, apparently we have like 35 people watching, most of whom aren't talking, so.
Oh,
Huh. But it looks like Channigan's just like level 18, Excalibur, in-game Phoebe. I'm good to go.
alright, let's see if it pays off.
God, I'm still getting thrown off by his stinking backwards sprite.
At least it's not an egg, so could be worse.
The question in chat, do you have to conquer the 4 bosses for Doom Castle? No. The only bosses that are absolutely required are the bosses in Doom Castle. And I think you've at least floated the idea, or someone's floated the question of, can we even make that unnecessary?
Yeah. As we're going to see, all the areas are separated by these blocks, so you just have to remove the block, and then you could have a fast Doom Castle. Yeah.
So, yeah, in theory, you could, if things were arranged correctly, have a seed where you don't have to fight a single boss except Dark King.
Yeah, if you just shuffle the treasure chest and not all the treasure, then most boss are going to be, well, all the boss are going to be guarding a few chests themselves, so then they can be required. But when you shuffle everything, they usually don't have anything down there.
Pat, meanwhile, doing what anyone who enjoys Final Fantasy Mystic Quest does, and is debating which of the absolute bangers in the soundtrack is the best absolute banger in the soundtrack. So, looks like in this case, Channigan's strategy of just bum rushing progression is paying off to this point. But we'll see what happens once we get a little bit deeper into the boss fights. But I guess then the burning question becomes, when are we going to see a flag that forces you to complete Pazuzu's tower?
Well, one other thing I'd like, because yeah, it's very unbalanced. Often Pazu Tower and the Giant Tree don't have much, so I'd like to set things up so it's a bit more, uh, so everything's a bit more spread out, and then you'd have to go visit Pazu Tower a bit more often. But yeah, that's in the planning stage.
Yeah, I feel like probably would almost need to introduce a map editor to Pazuzu's tower to make it, like, reasonable to put something there without literally making the randomizer put something there or introducing an all bosses flag. But regardless, Channigan is now halfway through Doom Castle, and
He also has only 3 saves, which is
yeah, I was
very
about
low.
to say, unlike oh no,
No, he's okay. He's
okay,
okay. He's
he's
okay.
good, he's good. that
Oh,
scared me
like
for
that.
a minute. Yeah, one thing with the enemy placement shuffle is we are still very much as a community figuring out, hey, where are all the places that we should make it that enemies never can go? So that we don't get soft locked.
Got most of them figured out, but there's still occasionally one popping up. But I'm pretty confident at this point that we have them.
You just jinxed the seed because
It's
you
fine.
said that. I'm not gonna forgive you.
You got through Volcano, the volcano floor. We're totally safe. Nothing can go wrong from there on.
You're lucky I have wood literally next to me, because I'm knocking on it. Alright. So, Kevin heading into the Bonanza Dome here, while Channigan dealing with the upgraded Hydra on his side. Easy.
Yeah, very kind Hydra this time.
Yeah. So for the folks who are curious, we are running with a 75% enemy scaling, and a spread in that scaling of, I believe, 50%. Yeah, 50%. So when that's in play, that 50%, is that 50% of the scaled stats, like it's an extra bit of wiggle, or is that a 50% flux based on the original stats?
It's a 50% flux. So basically, if you add this with 75% scaling and 50% spread, then you'll get the stat will be scaled between 25% and 125%.
I think that's what I assumed it was, but I figured it was a good idea to check that.
Yeah, right now the enemy stat scaling is very dumb. Okay, it's just straight just straight scaling. So this is something with more play time that can be refined.
I have, and I'm sure anyone who's looked at the website, which is, for the curious, ffmqrando.net, if someone wants to pump that into chat. Because this realized we haven't even plugged the actual website where you can try this out, and we've been at this for almost an hour. But yeah, so if folks did, so I do notice there is a GitHub link. If folks do want to kind of hop in and help out, is that an option that you're looking at, or Is this sort of just at the moment you kind of want to keep working on it yourself?
Uh, yeah, well, I won't say no for helps, but it's, I mean, it's very close. It's a project that's very close to me, so right now it's a lot of stuff. It's that I need to work through and by myself. Uh, but yeah, uh, so if anyone wants to help, we welcome.
I mean, it's one of those things. I imagine that part of what makes it a little bit easier for you to kind of work it at your own pace instead of having to worry about a bunch of folks is I'm not sure. Like, are the resources out there to even really dig into it the way you have, or have you had to do a lot of sort of figuring things out yourself in the process of making this?
Yeah, there's basically nothing on Mystic Quest. But Final Fantasy One is there's there's just so much resource for it. It's very easy to get into if you want to get started. So yeah, it's more of a challenge with Mystic Quest. You really need to you're starting from scratch basically. That's part of the challenge. That's part of what makes it interesting.
So is that something else that's on your radar? Is sort of once you've kind of gotten everything that you wanted to put together in place, are you going to kind of make some of the resources you've figured out for yourself available if folks want to take what you started and help expand on it?
Oh yeah, well uh, everything I'm doing, like the code is accessible uh, and uh, if you go on my notes, they're a bit messy right now, but it's no problem sharing them. Uh, but yeah, it's just there's a lot of work to do to figure out that game.
And Channigan has made it to the refill depot,
All
so
right, so
it's time to find out how trolly Dark King is going to be today. One thing that is very notable is there's a certain very famous glitch that I believe does not work in this randomizer. Is that correct?
yeah, that's right. The cure bug is fixed. Uh, it's mostly because it's not it's a bug. It's not because the Darking has some kind of weird secret weakness. So with the randomizer and the scaling, you could use cure on other boss to kill them that way. So for now, it's fixed.
Is there any thought of incorporating a flag that lets someone turn it back on if, you know, people just want to do it that way?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely do not mind the idea of, like you said, making it so that the Dark King actually is as hard as he's supposed to.
Yeah, it's nice to have a final boss that you got to get to work on a bit.
On a related note, though, I do have to wonder who made the decision in developing this game that, yeah, the ultimate threat to the world, his true form is he's just a really big spider. Like that had to have been a decision made by an arachnophobe. Or am I crazy?
I mean, it's a pretty big spider, so I mean, even if you're not scared of spiders, that's a big one. I mean, I wouldn't be too happy to have one in my living room.
Channigan takes his first wipe to Dark King, so this is the part where things get tricky. Like, his stats can have rolled up, and that may put Channigan at a disadvantage, but Kevin's gonna need a lot of help from Dark King in order to catch up at this stage of things, I feel like.
Yeah, Channigan's a lot of attempts.
Yeah. But, Kevin is almost... like, once he's done with Lava Dome, he is going to have Go mode. And at that point, it's going to be a question of who does he want to, like, getting his in-game character and getting through, like, the ship. And then Doom. So... Yeah, so chat pointing out that Channigan tends to favor speed and power strats, which in this scenario, I think that your power is let Phoebe do Phoebe things and just focus on having Benjamin heal the party.
Yeah, pretty much, because it doesn't have life. If Phoebe go down, then it's over.
And since the question is up in... to reiterate, hi, it's me, Woat. And Wild Ham's the other guy in the booth. So, Channigan having to take a moment to kind of fall back and heal because his heal stick just got confused. But it looks like he's in the process of making the recovery. One thing working against him, he never did find the life spell for Benjamin, so he is working... He is working with only one life caster, who is unfortunately also his chief DPS. Thankfully, it's Phoebe too, who has a unnecessary number of spells.
Yeah, she's strong, but she can't do everything by herself. But...
Yeah, that's kind of the problem Channigan's running into right now, is the action economy is kind of working against him. Oh, that's the opposite of good. He's got Dark King down to the last phase, but he's got a level 22 Benjamin, who I think is rocking noble armor and like an Aegis shield.
Yeah, did he save before the fight?
Yeah, he did. So
Okay.
I imagine if he gets one more dive like this, like if he takes another wipe, I can't imagine he's not going to take a step back and try to figure out like where he can get some quick and dirty experience. Yeah, I think the problem he's running into right now is he just doesn't have the health or the defense on Benjamin for the health he's got.
Yeah, and he's a bit short on speed though, so give the chance to Dark King, yeah, to hack first.
Yeah. So... we're gonna have to start referring to Dark King as the Great Equalizer. I mean, there's still a lot of time for... Oh! Yeah, this is, that was a narrow thing right there. Yeah, so he's gonna need to throw that life up on Phoebe, because Dark King can kill very quickly. And down go. Benjamin again. But Kevin is through his twin head Hydra, so... Or dual head Hydra. Whatever this thing's called.
Yeah, I think it's dual. Yeah, you got this right. And it's the one in Doom Castle is where the Wyvern.
Yeah. Well, either way, Kevin has completed his lava dome, and so I believe he has pretty much everything he needs to finish the game now. So hopefully he will go ahead, he'll realize that and go ahead and make his move. So question in chat, if Channigan has any armor for Ben. I believe I saw him pick up an Aegis Shield and Noble Armor. I'm not sure if we ever saw a helmet, but we know he has the Magic Ring. So he's got okay armor. But definitely not great armor for the situation he's in. Yeah, he might have the steel helm. I don't remember if that was somewhere he went. I think it was on his path though, so he may have picked that up. But yeah, so it's a very patchwork armor situation. Also, I done told y'all that we probably would want to track the armors, but no, whoa, we don't need to know what the armors are. That's not going to come up. So...
Oh well.
Yeah, this is not looking... Yeah. So, yeah, Channigan going back in, and I don't blame him. That he's getting to that fourth phase, but he keeps losing Phoebe when he gets there, and 3 turns is not enough time. And that's 3 turns at best for Benjamin.
Yeah, he can't take enough. He doesn't have enough HP to heal up after that. So.
Kevin taking the more convenient route over to Windia, making a couple of stops on the way. Where did we find... I don't think we have the Sky Coin on Kevin's side. Does anyone remember where we found that? I feel like it was like... Was that behind the multi-key?
No, it was in Levadon actually.
Okay, so Kevin almost certainly has it, and the fact that he's going ahead to Captain Mac is making me think that he's in good shape, but... Or not Captain Mac, he's going ahead to Spencer, it makes me think he's in good shape. And while we're talking about that, so... Yeah, at this point, this is kind of a race between Channigan's ability to push through that final phase of Dark King and Heaven being able to get to this fight, because I think with the experience Kevin's necessarily going to be picking up on the way, he'll have a couple extra like 100 HP, and that might be enough right there. I don't believe he's got the life spell either, though. But if someone kind of wants to keep an eye on his menu to see if we see it, that would be lovely. So yeah, I think either a few more levels or a life spell is the difference maker right now.
Yeah, the life spell is really would make a huge difference there.
I'm also wondering if it may benefit Channigan to try Phoebe. Let's try and put Phoebe on auto um, at a certain point, just because she'll be more likely to do anticipatory healing, or at least play more conservative with her healing.
Yeah, but you need her to do damage, otherwise you're not.
Well, he's got the seeds to keep his character topped off. But while we're talking about this, Kevin MacLeod is now in Doom Castle. Ooh, and he's going the way I like to go. I like to just go down that one staircase and just jump over on the sand.
Yeah, with the speed up movement, it's a bit trickier to do, but it's still much faster.
Yeah, Holy Knight pointing out in chat, Vampire Knight pointing out in chat that, yeah, no, I agree. This is a race now. Channigan maybe has, I'd say, 2 or 3 more attempts at this before Kevin is at Dark King. Like, Kevin is really only going to be slowed down on the Zuh form.
Yeah, none of the boss are really a challenge, so you should catch up quickly.
Yeah, no, and I mean, yeah, that's the thing, is the thing that's going to be slowing Kevin down isn't the boss, it's going to be just the encounters he's forced to go through to get to them. So, and Kevin can also afford to be a lot more liberal with his resources, because he picked up like 30 seeds at one point. I saw. So he is squared away on healing. So if he wants to just sort of like just blow everything away with magic, he has the supplies to do it.
Oh yeah, no reservation.
Yeah, he can just go to town. It looks like he's opting for automated Phoebe strats, which I don't hate. Like, the main reason I find to sort of keep things on manual is to conserve resources, but the way that Kevin's kind of played this seed, he does not have to be conservative with his resources at this point.
Yeah, it's not a concern at all.
Yeah. So he can kind of just let AI Phoebe do AI Phoebe things, namely liberally use wizard spells. So Channigan at least keeping his party in pretty decent shape so far. I think his big problem at this point is just Benjamin's healing is not quite good enough to get him back to full quickly.
Yeah, the Dark King's is doing about 600, 700 damage, so yeah, they always need to be healed 2 times so he can be out of his range.
Turn order is kind of key here, so yeah, I like this play. I like what Channigan was going for there, having both party members throw up healing to kind of restabilize the situation, but unfortunately, Phoebe got just headhunted there. Yeah, no, this is getting interesting now, because yeah, Kevin's gonna be through the fight with the golem here in not very long.
Oh yeah, and he did pick a flare, so that's going to speed things up a bit.
Confusion's not helping, but yeah, he'll get through this. I am appreciating that this is basically just, and now I confuse you, and now I confuse you, and now I confuse you. Yeah, we saw Channigan back out of fight, and I think he's that may have been a reset to see if he can get better RNG. Because if memory serves, like, there is a certain amount of like combat that is determined at the start of combat. Or am I making no sense right now?
I don't know. This is one of the things checked or figured out yet. So
Okay. Well, then we're just going to assume that Channigan opted to reset the fight completely in the hopes of getting slightly better combat actions. Yeah, so right now, Kevin, as chat pointing out, halfway through this Doom Castle, coming up on the third fight, Channigan running out of time. On the bright side, at least, like, the final boss theme is really good for this sort of tense, who's actually gonna win.
yeah, it's a great track, and you get to listen to it in full.
Listening to it. I'm not sure whose audio ADR has been using, but it's a good thing that this game really does have some fantastic, like, it's been said before, for what this game was, it had no business having as good a soundtrack as it did.
Yeah, I think it's part of the appeal. It's what make it a classic. I mean, everything needs to work together. And yeah, the music just elevate everything else.
Yeah. So it does look like this fight has gone a lot better for Channigan after the reset, but that Petrify and Phoebe may. Oh, he might not be able to. Yeah.
You jinxed it. You jinxed it. Well,
I don't. That was going to happen regardless.
no, that was the run. That was the time I was going to do it. Then you had to mention it.
I was sitting there at 200 HP with Phoebe petrified when I started talking. He wasn't gonna make it. Yeah, so this was the floor that I was saying is probably going to take Kevin the longest, just because I think there are, like, more of the fights landed on the critical path here than on the other floors. So, I'd say Channigan, if he doesn't win on this attempt, maybe gets one more try before Kevin is also on Dark King.
Yeah, it's really neat.
But we're learning so much right now about the meta of this randomizer. About the things that you kind of want when you're going for different strategies. But we'll see. Like, the thing is Kevin also doesn't have life from what I've been able to see. So he's going to be in a similar dicey boat on that front to Channigan. The big difference is Kevin is probably going to be walking into this fight with almost 200 more HP on Benjamin. Like, he's going to pick up another level, I suspect, before he gets to Dark King. Oh, no, he already did pick up that other level, so yeah.
Yeah, it's going to make a huge difference because the Cure spell heals you a percentage of your max HP, so it just means it's going to be way more effective.
Is that how? Because, like, I always felt like Phoebe heals a lot more than Benjamin does.
Yeah, she does. I mean, your spell power also account into it, but it's also a percentage of your HP at the same time. So,
Okay.
so yeah, the more HP you have, then you'll heal more whoever is going to heal you. But of course, Phoebe is going to heal you more.
I guess the other thing also that's helpful, though, with Kevin having levels is Benjamin's spells are going to hit harder, and he's gonna take a little less damage if I'm not crazy. Doesn't level also impact the damage you take from attacks?
I'm sure it works for spell, but as far as physical attacks goes, no, it doesn't matter. It's all about your armor.
Okay. That's why I asked. So, Kevin McLeod officially through the last of the, whatever these things are called, fiends or crystal thieving bastards or whatever. But,
Yeah, I don't know if they have an official name or not.
but whatever. He had to fight them, he refought them. And now we're here. And yeah, I do have to agree with Magnus in chat. Channigan, if Channigan doesn't win on this fight, he is officially behind.
He is on the final, the last form, so.
Yeah. So yeah, this is do or die for Channigan. If he doesn't kill Dark King here, and Kevin will have the advantage. And right now, it looks like he is staying ahead of damage. Basically, he has pivoted to using Phoebe as his healer, while Benjamin does the damage. Which I think that's the strategy I kind of have to take. Just but that white is huge. Yeah, because Channigan opted to do a full party heal instead of a life. And, like, he'll be able to pick Benjamin up on this, but he is a little bit behind on the healing now.
Oh.
Phoebe barely managed to get on her feet from that spider attack.
Oh.
And that's gonna do it. Channigan, on the last real chance he had before it got into a bad situation for him, takes out the Dark King with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 13 seconds. So go ahead and drop some GGs into chat, and we're going to go pester Channigan to come join us.
Oh yeah.
Okay, ADR, I love the winner text that you have incorporated into this framework. Channigan should be along momentarily. Oh, we probably need to actually pull him into the commentary room.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Wild, you can absolutely do that. Which I mean, yeah, there we go.
Okay, got it.
Hey, Channigan.
Oh,
GG.
god damn, Dark King. Holy boy.
So, so you have you pulled up the stream yet? Because
Not
I
yet.
realize that was basically your last chance to kill Dark King before Kevin got to Dark King.
Oh boy, man.
He was still in
What?
Lava Dome when you started fighting Dark King.
I knew since I didn't have life. I knew it's gonna be it was gonna be hard, but not that hard. Not 25 minutes hard.
Yeah, it was
Oh
the lack of the life spell. Probably the biggest trouble you had. I feel
yeah.
like.
Oh yeah, 100%. If it wasn't for life, I think I would have killed Dark King first try.
Oh, yeah, like, cause it's one of those things. So when you what's the phrase I'm looking for here? When you reset out of the fight and reloaded your save, was what was the thinking there? Was that you trying to sort of
Frustration.
okay? Because we were sitting here thinking like, oh, maybe he's trying to manipulate the RNG, try to see if he can roll a more favorable like early part of the battle, so he's not scrambling to heal.
Mm. No,
And
that was just pure frustration.
that is completely valid. Yeah, so this was actually a really interesting seed to watch play out because you and Kevin had two completely different strategies approaching this seed. You went for just speed and power, just trying to
Yep.
use your ally as a sledgehammer to slam through dungeons and find things.
Yep.
Um, Kevin spent a lot more of the early game focused on getting levels
Mm.
and money and just basically having the resources he needed to kind of glide through the later game.
Yeah. Taking back, I should have bought Flare. I saw it. I'm like, I'll keep that in mind, and I'm like, nah, I have white. I should be good, and let's just hope Darking isn't too bad. And yup, it bite me pretty good.
Yeah, well, the thing that's really benefiting Kevin right now is he has he got to level 26 instead of level 22, and
Mm,
that 160 extra health
yeah. Oh
is
yeah.
keep has kept him alive. Like it's given him a lot more
Mhm.
wiggle room in that
Yeah.
fight.
I had no like some of Dark King's attack left me with 9 HP. Like
Yeah,
I had no wiggle room. The
yeah,
RNG had to be perfect for me to win, and thank God he only did uh, the white AoE and flare.
yeah,
Thank
and I mean,
God, because because that golden web, if it hit me, I was dead. Like every time.
yeah, and it helped also. I think that pivoted to having Phoebe just
Yeah,
spend all of her turns healing
yeah,
on that last run.
yeah. I had to switch tactic. Yeah, again, no life. I should have. It's not the first sea that I completed with life, and every time Dark King was the gate. Like I should have hunted for that life. For that life.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things. We saw enough of the seed to know like life had to have been either in the ice palace
Mhm.
or the ice pyramid, the giant tree, or Pazuzu's tower,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
And none of those are places you want to
Oh
go
no,
looking.
no. Especially since I had no swords when I was next to IS pyramid, so I didn't want to go back there. And Big Tree wants to do that. and Pazuzu Tower is the worst. So
Yeah. Yeah. So as far as things that we saw on Kevin's side that you didn't, Medusa actually had a key item today. Do you want to
oh,
guess what it was?
mm, I don't know.
It was the
Let's
giant
guess.
axe.
Oh, Giant's Axe. Oh.
Yeah.
Womp
So
womp.
it was one of those things until you found that Excal though, it really did look like it was playing to Kevin's advantage.
Yeah, Excal was big. Well, big. It was pretty good. It helped. It helped me. What's funny is I've entered Doom's Tower with 5 seeds. Taking okay, I have 5 charges of white on Ben and 10 on Phoebe. I should have enough, and yep, I used my last one right before Pazuzu 2. I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
good calculation.
Yeah, Kevin did a couple of the money battlefields,
Mhm.
and so he just like stocked up on seeds
Yeah.
uh, about halfway through the seed. So yeah, but like it's one of those things. It was really interesting to watch sort of y'all's strategies contrasting against each other, and um, yeah, we're now seeing that Kevin is also stuck in the position of just like that lack of life spell is making things difficult,
Oh
even with
yes.
the extra levels. But what I do like I'm seeing on his side, he swapped over to the claw now that he's got Benjamin slinging spells.
Oh, I forgot. Claw gives you more magic damage. Oh, I forgot about that.
To be
I
fair, I just now like that just now
uh
was like, oh yeah, that's a smart thing you can do in this
yeah,
game.
I read about it a few days ago. I'm like, oh, that's smart, and I
Yeah,
completely forgot about it. Oh, that would have been good.
yeah, it's like the claw gives you extra magic, the sword gives you more speed, which I saw you stayed on sword
Yeah,
most of the time for the
sword was the way
speed.
to go. Yeah, I completely forgot that claw was magic. I knew
Yeah,
sword was speed. I'm like, I need more speed.
yeah.
I need to, but darking is way too fast. Even even with at level what 25, 26, I doubt you could outrun him, outspeed him, if I can say that. But yeah,
Yeah, nah, he's pretty fast. So,
uh, that was fun though. Like early game with no key items at all. Like you got bombs, go have fun. Like that was pretty interesting. I think that's the first time that I've seen no key items at all on the in the first area. But yeah, I I also forgot Gemini was the crest that leads you to Aquaria. I was like, oh, I got Mobius. I can go to Windia. I'm like, oh, I'll just go to Windia and get Phoebe and go beat DK. I'm like, oh wait, wrong house.
yeah, we had a brief discussion in the booth trying to remember how everything was interconnected.
Yeah.
But we all learned a lot about the randomizer's logic today because I made Wildham explain it all. So it is worth going back and watching just to find out how this stupid thing works.
Oh, it's for real. I haven't had fun with a rando since I don't want to say a year ago when I joined FF4, but man, Mystic Quest rando is so much fun. The music is
I
so good, and the quality of life changes that Wildam did is just perfect.
Yeah, I have to agree. I haven't managed to finish a seed yet because I'm incompetent. But like it's really just fun like going through the dungeons with the recontextualization
Mhm.
of having different gear and a different partner.
Yeah. Oh, did you like my sprites? My little modifications?
We complained. We did all the complaining at the beginning of the seed.
I was gonna use the normal sprites. I'm like, nah, I need to troll them a little bit and just
Yeah.
just to show them something I came up with few days ago. Well, few weeks I should say.
But yeah, so I think the bottom line is though, I for one am really excited to see where things go from here because, like you said, it's just fun. It's not one of these things where it's like,
Mm,
if the seed rolls wrong, I'm in trouble, and this is going to be a slog.
mm.
Like even at
Oh,
worst, you're not hitting a slog until you have to go into Pazuzu's tower.
yeah.
And then it's not so much a slog because the seed is difficult, it's a slog because Pazuzu's Tower is the worst dungeon ever designed, and that is a GG for Kevin.
Hey.
With an official time of an hour, 33 minutes, and 11 seconds.
Again, that darking.
We'll see if Kevin wants to also come hang out for a few minutes, or if or whatnot. And I just now noticed that we had a Race Notes channel set up in the Discord for this, so ADR, I apologize for not noticing. Yeah. So, all right, looks like Kevin is going to pass on this one, but go ahead and GG him anyway. And Kevin, if you watch this back later, I mean, you've heard what we've been saying the whole time. I like the approach you took, and it, it took Channigan getting some good fortune on the RNG, or else this could have been completely neck and neck in the final fight.
Mm.
But I guess at this point we can kind of start wrapping up. Channigan, do you have anything else you want to say about the seed?
Uh, no, not really. I should have found life, like I said. Other than that, that was a real fun one. I'm sad I wasn't able to do the sub-hour seed.
It, I'm sure
Almost.
it'll happen.
Oh yeah, I've done it a couple times,
Yeah.
but I really wanted to sub-hour it, and got close. But better luck next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want, please join the Mystic Quest Rando Discord. Man, this game is so much fun. So yeah,
Yeah, and
I don't know
again,
what to say.
that URL again is www.ffmqrando.net. And there's a link to the Discord on there as well if you want to, jump in and hang out with other folks who think this thing's fun. But other than that, Wild, is there anything else that you want to mention as the developer that we didn't get a chance to talk about during the stream?
Not really. It's just it's a fun randomizer. Come and play it. And yeah, yeah, it turned out to be great to watch a race of it too. And
Yeah.
yeah, just thank you Walt, ADR, Channigan, and Kevin for doing this.
Kevin did come in here for a moment.
Oh,
Hey, Kevin, what's up?
I did mention I'll pass.
All right, well, we're about to wrap up here. Okay. Well, Kevin popped in, popped out. We're good. So, oh, I bet he. Yeah, all right. We'll worry about this later. Anyway, bottom line. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. Wildham, thank you for joining me in the booth. I know that you're not the biggest fan of hopping in to talk over a race, but I'm glad that you were here so I could pick your brain with questions.
Yeah, that was fun. Thank you.
All right. So on that note, I think we're going to go ahead and hop on out of here. Thanks everyone who came to watch, and folks who watch this later, you know where to find us. So on that note, have a good night, everyone. Hope you had fun.